You've probably been told that in order to create endurance in calisthenics, you have to work with slow reps to create time under tension, or to do combination sets doing pull-ups and right then doing dips, or doing so many other kind of methods that aren't really useful. And so many people talk about it because they make you progress slower than needed. And if you actually go to someone who gives you a training program, there won't be any kind of these exercises or methods. In this video, I'm going to cover up two methods that you don't need more than that to create a basic strength endurance in calisthenics, doing lots of reps of pull-ups, push-ups, dips. Now, before moving to these methods, I want to clear up something, and it's the rep range that you have to have your strength base that you need to have before starting to work on endurance. So it's pretty different from person to person. It also depends on your technique. Someone doing 20 reps of pull-ups could be worse in level actually than someone doing 15 reps of pull-ups but with perfect form. That's when this component and so much others come into play, and you can't really put your finger on how many reps you need in order to start to work with these two methods. So I want to clear it up. A good rule of thumb is going for at least 15 pull-ups and 20 dips. It shouldn't be like the perfect form you have, but it should be in good form. If you have a really perfect form, then something lower than that is also good. Now, both of these training methods are built on the idea that your body should do lots of reps if you want to do lots of reps, right? You have to work specific to your goal. If your goal is doing many reps, you have to do many reps. But you have to also accumulate volume. That's basically the amount of reps you do times the amount of sets you do times the amount of weight that you have in a single rep. So if you do it body weight reps, then that would be your body weight times the reps times the sets of a session. And in order to create endurance, you have to work with higher volumes, but you also have to work with higher reps per set. So these methods work on both sides of this scale. One is doing low reps per set for many sets, and the other is doing high reps per set for low sets, because your body won't be able to go on and on for many sets with high reps. So the first method is doing IMOM, which is basically every minute on the minute you start a timer, you do the number of reps that you have in a single set, and the rest is until the next minute. So you start a timer at 0 seconds, you do a couple pull-ups, then you rest until the next minute, and in the first minute you start another set, then you have another rest until the second minute, and so on. A good rule of thumb is doing 20% of your max pull-ups for each set in the IMOM. If you're able to do 20 pull-ups, you would do about 4 pull-ups in a single set. If you're able to do something like 16, 17, or a little bit above than 20, so 20% of that won't be an exact number. So just round it up or round it down to the closest number. Now, how long should you do IMOMs? It really depends on your specific level, but a good place to start with is doing a 50-minute IMOM and progressive overload it with every week increasing by a few minutes until you feel comfortable doing about a 30-minute IMOM with 20% of your reps. Now, you don't have to do this more than once or twice per week, and it's also a great method if you're short on time, because that's just 15 minutes or 30 minutes if you're more advanced. The second method is doing near max rep sets, not going for max reps, because then you won't have the ability to go for many reps in the next few sets. So going near max reps, which is about 70% of your max reps, doing this per one set, resting for a few minutes. I talked about it in the previous video about how much you need to rest. Doing it for a few sets, about 4 or 5 sets, and that's going to be your whole training. That's basically 70% of your max for 4 or 5 sets. That's going to be more than 3 times your max reps per single session, or even more if you do more reps. Now, the thing here is that many people get it wrong when trying to go for the max reps to increase their endurance. Max reps will increase your endurance, but it will also fatigue you dramatically. So doing 70% of your max for sets will allow you to do high reps per set without fatiguing yourself too much, without sacrificing form too much, and also gaining a lot of reps in a single set. So both of these methods will kind of add up to each other and create you a great endurance base. One is being able to accumulate a lot of volume in a single session. And the other is being able to do many reps per set without stopping and without fatiguing yourself. Do both of these training methods for once or twice per week. You don't need more than 3 times per week for both of them, and you will have great results in just over a few weeks. If you have any questions, any comments, write them down. I see them all. And I'm also on Instagram, so there's a link down below to my Instagram. If you like this video, then press the like button and subscribe for more content like this, and have a great day.